have to look in this corner.
Oh, okay.
Facebook Live training with Amanda and Wendy.
Another conversation.
That's it.
Yes.
So we're inside today because it's raining and stormy outside.
Yes.
But Wendy, we were having a very interesting conversation earlier today that I thought, let's bring this onto Facebook. Because you were saying you have been reaching out to some of your clients and saying, you know, or if you could say like one word for what's going on for you, what would that word be at the moment? And so report back.
I will report back. Yeah, well, because I've just been checking in with, you know, some different people that have been coming to see me over a period of time. And some of the words that they've been is like isolated, and in the sense of being isolated, but also isolating themselves. And then another one was like turmoil. Another one was overwhelmed, anxious, suffocated. And so it was a really cool, you know, for them to actually share that, you know,
and that's not uncommon, like especially with, I mean, the craziest 2020, the year everyone wished we could just like wipe off and start again.
Yeah.
Because that has been a lot of, and it's not just, you know, grief and loss where people experience this. It's all this massive change and the lockdown and all the, you know, all the awareness around all the mental health and just coping with all the stuff that's come out of that. I'd say it's very common that we all are having maybe a lot more moments of feeling isolated and alone and trapped and not having much choice.
Yeah, well, it's really just a lot of it's just dealing with living. You know, these are things I was saying to Amanda. These are like, it's not even to do with grief. It's actually dealing with the everyday things of living. And you're working from home and you've got children and, you know, and you've got your businesses and, you know, just all of those everyday things and how much it's just, you know, getting overwhelmed for a lot of people, and it's not necessarily do they actually have a grief in a sense,
or a specific thing going on. It's just like sometimes life is grief, isn't it? So and it was really cool though, because one of the things I love about you, Wendy, is like you really do just like if I'm calling and I'm like crazy, and then you'll just give me just like the simplest. It doesn't take a lot of complicated stuff to start changing it, and so I love the tool you were telling me about, just getting like even just going for a walk in nature or something like that.
Yeah, because that whole belief is like with these people that I was talking to, it's like where we've bought, and I've bought it as well, is like we put the walls up because we think, oh well, we'll retreat to our little cave or we'll isolate ourselves, and actually, but what you're doing is you're blocking yourself away from yourself. So one maybe really cool little tip that you guys could to do, or which I was sharing with them, was even just to give yourself a bit more space and a bit more peace, go for a walk. You know, even if people don't get letting their barriers down, but maybe just go for a walk into the park and be with the energy of the trees, which they don't have a point of view, they don't have walls up, and allow yourself to receive that nurturing. That nurturing that's there, because that's where it all gets mixed up, because people think they're going to put their walls up, retreat into their cave, and then they're going to help, you know,
somehow heal that way.
But they're actually blocking themselves.
By disconnecting.
Receiving.
I find that too, like, and how much is that, you know, we only want to be out in the world when we're this like happy, perfect version of ourselves. And when we've got stuff going on, we're like, I'm just going to hide and like disconnect, and we don't reach out. We don't ask for help. We think, oh, I have to deal with this all on my own. But what we're actually doing is we're cutting ourselves off from the world, and we're cutting the world off from us. And so even just going out in nature is like connecting with this beautiful world we have again, and it's not necessarily connecting in with all the trauma and drama of whatever else is going on, but actually the beauty in the space. And that's so nurturing, and we so underestimate, I think.
I think we actually do, like just that and also everywhere we've bought too, that we can't like ask. You know what I mean? Like, because it's seen as like if we you know ask for some contribution, and like I listened to something the other day, and I think it might have been Katerina, and she was just saying like one of the things of being a leader is actually being willing to ask. you know, for the contribution. And so everywhere that anyone, what if we could ask for, you know, just contribution? We don't even just energetically ask, you know, universe, what could you, you know, what contribution can I receive today?
Yeah, because we don't have to come up with the answers, and we don't have to have it all perfect. And actually,
we don't.
And sometimes actually reaching out and asking for contribution is like, it's a real gift to the other person too, because it shows you there's a strength in that vulnerability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I love that.
So we might just go now.
You can tell my arm's getting a bit tired and shaky. Forgot the selfie stick again. But thanks so much, Wendy. And it's like, it really is just a simple way of connecting in, and I wonder what that could create for you guys out there. I hope this is contribution. Thank you, Wendy. Always a gift to have you on with us. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.